Welcome to The Redeemables. It's a podcast where we take movies that scored 50 or less on the Metacritic scale and we decide whether to redeem them or whether to nail them to the cross.
To the cross.
Thanks, mate.
Sorry, I was late on that. I was adjusting the laptop foolishly.
Can't multitask, we know this.
No, I know. I've completely
can barely
phased
do
out.
one thing at once.
Yeah.
I'm BJ, your host for this evening, and I'm here with a man raised in a brothel, Kenny.
How dare you speak about my mother and sister like that?
That's how I met him.
No shame, no judgment.
No, I was.
And a man who killed his brother for his shiny hat, Duff.
Yeah, I'd do that.
Yep.
That's why I don't have any brothers.
That was the gist of the movie, wasn't
Heaps
it?
of shiny hats and no brothers.
Fuck,
you just reminded me of the
just
Iron
a big
Claw.
dick with a shiny hat.
Oh, haven't
You
done it
can't say that.
seen
Man.
it.
Hey,
not yet.
I used to be a brother.
Still.
Oh, fuck. What a film.
I don't get the reference. I haven't seen it.
It's okay.
Okay. We're not doing the Iron Claw tonight, this evening.
If
Today.
you see a single tear rolling down my cheeks because I'm thinking about the Iron Claw.
I'm very excited to see it, but
Okay.
I'm waiting for it to be legally available at a reasonable price.
Right.
We're doing King Arthur, The Legend of the Sword from 2017.
Why is the water dropped? Why does the sword reveal itself now?
As your power increases, so too do the forces that will oppose you. The born king will come. It is inevitable.
You felt it. The power.
I've never had any power or any desire to achieve it. That's what all the fuss is about.
Don't worry. You'll soon understand what all the fuss is about.
Are you scared?
I think I can manage.
You should be scared.
Whatever it takes to hunt him down.
If I go down, you follow him. If he goes down, you follow me.
You want him to think big? Give him something big to think about.
You wanted the prophecy. This is your prophecy. The man who pulled sword from stone. Behold, your born king.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I did the Anton Fuqua one.
We did confuse
I got
ourselves.
confused.
We did. Yeah.
That's okay.
That's
What
on
Anton
me.
Fuqua one?
The King Arthur with Clive Owen.
That's what we're doing.
No,
Yeah.
Guy Ritchie.
You fucked up as well. We can pivot. Let's pivot. We said we might pivot.
None of my notes.
Clive Owen was in Children of Men.
Children
Yes.
of Men.
Yes.
Okay, so we're doing that. What movie are we doing? You guys have lost me.
King Arthur.
King Arthur. Sweet.
Yeah.
The sword one.
Yes.
Yeah. I, just out of interest, I put King Arthur. I was going to do a thing where I was like, if you put King Arthur into IMDb, how many results do you get?
14.
I stopped counting at like 40.
Really? That
Yeah,
many?
because obviously TV shows,
Yeah,
etc.,
yeah,
etc.
yeah. I only
Like-
remember the Merlin TV show.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off. I've never watched it.
Oh,
you
sure.
loved Merlin.
No,
Yes, you did.
love
You used to talk about Merlin all the time.
Did you watch the latest episode of
Merlin.
Merlin?
Did that have Sam Neill in it?
I don't fucking know.
I think it did.
trying to trap you.
did.
Had that tawny fucking
What was,
black
your,
hair kid.
what was your favourite season?
Oh, anything
Of
with
Merlin. Sorry, go on.
Sorry to all the Merlin fans out there who are just feeling utterly
The
mocked off the
massive
bat.
dorks.
You've upset two people.
Both our listeners. So this one was directed by Guy Ritchie, written by Jobby Harold.
Jobby?
Jobby. It's probably Joby, yeah.
It's too easy.
It's probably Joby, you
Is it
reckon?
1B?
Yeah.
It's Joby.
Joby. Sorry, Jobby. Joby.
Jobby is a shit in Scotland. They say
Is
I'm
it?
going to go do a jobby.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Really?
Is that right?
Right.
Aren't you Scottish?
Yeah, but I've never done a shit in Scotland.
Oh,
Have
but
you?
have you called, have you ever
You know
called
what I
a
call
jobby?
it, Ken? Call it a shit.
Pretty sure it's called a jobby.
People come here for this kind of culture.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And when it's a runny shit, I call it Merlin.
Anyway, sorry to Joby Harold, Guy Ritchie, and Lionel Wigram. Mm. It stars Charlie Hunman. There's so many names I'm going to fucking struggle with here, like Charlie. Astrid Burgess Frisbee.
Wait, what? Frisbee. Like the throwing disc.
Frisbey. Tell me that's not frisbee.
It's frisbee.
It's Frisbee.
It probably is too. Frisbee. And Jude Law. And I'm going to stop there.
Oh, that's a hard one.
I'm quitting while I'm miles behind.
Okay, cool. So David Beckham doesn't get a shout out?
What is Eric Bana dead?
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I think I've murdered enough names. Stop it. This movie
Does
has...
Digimon Hansu mean nothing to you?
I was deliberately avoiding that one.
Did you call him... Is it Digimon?
That's just what I call him. What is it? Is it just Jamon?
Digimon.
Is it?
Digimon.
Digimon.
It's French for African.
Digimon.
I'm going to throw to you guys when we get to that very short section of my notes.
Oh, very short.
Yeah.
That should be an hour of this pod.
It's
He's
a
one
list,
of our
just
heroes.
a list of bangers that is
Yeah.
in. That's all I did.
Oh, that's fine.
perfect.
I'm
Yeah,
fine with that.
That's all it is.
It's absolute perfect films.
Whether this one qualifies as one of them, we'll let you know in about an hour or so.
Yeah.
This movie has a Metacritic score of 41.
Okay.
I can see that.
Yeah. It's probably higher than I thought, given some of the reviews that I read.
Yeah.
And a user score of 72, which is definitely higher than I thought.
Yeah, people loved it, eh?
Apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can also see that.
Yeah.
Very entertaining.
I can't wait to tell you my thoughts.
Yeah. This is good. On the poster,
I've got a feeling we might have some mixed reviews here in the room.
I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. Yeah. That makes,
Carry on.
hopefully that makes for good podcast content.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll be the first
We haven't had a good one yet, so maybe this is the one.
Yeah, thanks for sticking with us, though, everyone. Family and friends. On the poster,
What was that noise? I
don't know.
a seal in the studio.
I was drinking.
I was
With a bottled water.
Oh, the other seal.
Yeah, not seal.
Not the one that got to bang Heine Klum.
No. Did he?
Apparently, well,
With those
presumably.
scars.
Don't seals get banged by sticks?
Anyway,
Clubs.
Fuck, we've hijacked this pod.
that's fine. Honestly, I've
We
only
should have just done Merlin.
Right, yeah, maybe. I've got the box set at home. On the poster, this said, "Are you ready for?" Like, honestly, I probably could have done more research, but I didn't. On the poster, as far as I can tell, it said from the director of Sherlock Holmes.
That was
that's
the line.
That's the movie they chose.
Yeah,
All these Guy Ritchie
I know,
movies,
yeah.
they went with Sherlock
exactly.
Holmes.
There's so many things wrong with that.
But I can see a world where this is Sherlock Holmes is the closest thing he's done to King Arthur.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for better or worse.
Or is
Yeah,
it the Americans know Sherlock Holmes more
Better than Snatch and Lock,
Stock?
Stock and Rock and Roll, etc.
That's an interesting one. I don't know how much those hit in the States.
Don't know. No, they hit.
Yeah,
Snatch
I
and
thought
Lock,
they
Stock
did.
hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about Rock and Roll. I think that's still pretty.
He scored Madonna, so he must have been a bit of a big name, right? Am I right?
I don't know, man. Have you seen Madonna?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the frozen corpse of Madonna.
I loved her in The Mummy.
The wiki. The wiki. King Arthur, ... Legend of the Sword is a 2017 epic fantasy adventure film.
It is.
Yeah. Directed by Guy Ritchie, who wrote it with those other guys. From a story by Harold and Dave Dobkin. Dave Dobkin. Did he do Slice of Heaven? From the Foot Rock. Anyway, the Foot Rock Flat soundtrack?
No.
Anyway,
I don't.
inspired by Arthurian legends, the film stars Charlie Hunnam as the title character and Jude Law as the tyrannical King Vortigern, who is attempting to kill him.
Yeah.
So the wiki was all right. But do you know what I've discovered? Kill count websites, rubbish for kill counts. Great for good synopsises of movies.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to flip it.
Who would have thought?
We'll go to Wiki for the kill
Yeah.
count and kill count websites for the synopsis.
So shout out to cinemorg.com.
Oh, I've been on that. I've
Yeah.
visited Cinemore. Great site.
Also, props for just getting that URL. They must have been in early because that would have been a
Cinemore,
shit fight.
yeah.
They said, robbed of his birthright, Arthur, Charlie Hunnam, comes up the hard way in the back alleys of the city. But once he pulls the sword from the stone, he is forced to acknowledge his true legacy, whether he likes it or not.
Nice.
It's
so
good.
much better.
It's clean.
Yeah, and it actually gives us some idea about what we're in for.
A bit more.
So, budget. Ken's just
Whoa.
tweeting, but I want you.
You were digging into the Hunman, and
Yeah.
it was bothering me.
What do you think?
It's just Hunnam.
Is it?
It's just Hunnam.
Hunnam?
Yeah. It's just double N.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll back you on that because I have no idea. Yeah.
You were just digging into them.
Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah, just Hunnam.
Can we just start from just
we
roll it back from
let's
the top?
go back.
All right.
Yeah.
Welcome
You know
to
the names.
Hey, people,
Yeah.
fuck, man. honestly, I wonder
You
how
know
often.
how much it'll bother listeners as well, because it bothers me when I'm listening to other podcasts and someone like I listen to the footy podcast,
Yeah.
and then they keep pronouncing someone's name wrong.
Charlie Cameroon.
Exactly. It kills me. I'm screaming at my car.
I
going,
used to be that guy, and then I heard myself on a podcast,
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
like, I'm going to cut these motherfuckers more slack.
True.
Also, just for everyone listening at home, you don't realize how many filler words you use. You don't realize how stupid your giggle sounds. But
Yes.
these are things that I've been lying awake thinking about for 3 years now.
Never listen to it back.
No, but we've got to get a listen somewhere.
True.
The click farms are getting expensive. Budget. What do you reckon this cost?
Fucking heaps.
Yeah.
Reckon they threw some bucks at it?
Yeah.
All the bucks.
Put a number on it.
I'll go 95 million.
I was
you reckon that's-
thinking a lot more than that. Give me 130.
175.
Oh, yeah. And even that still doesn't shock me. Yeah.
Money is
I was thinking it looked like it was worth that much.
Yeah.
But I don't think Guy Ritchie gets given that much. So I'll go to 130 and they just did a lot with it.
Yeah, right.
But I'm not at 175. I go, okay.
Yeah.
They did well with that. Like, it's a fucking pretty beautiful looking movie.
It's a massive swing as well.
Yeah.
They were putting cards on. They were hoping that this was going to hit. Obviously.
Now I'm curious as to whether it did, because that's a
Okay.
huge investment.
Well, have a guess at the GBO then,
Yeah,
gents.
that's just
I'll double it. So that's 240.
maybe.
Is it?
Double what? 120?
I'm double. Nah.
Oh, the maths gets us. Names and maths.
I'm going to double
so sorry,
170.
What year did it come out?
2017.
Okay, that was the peak of cinema.
Yeah,
around that.
before streaming took over, before the
It
plague.
was just that couple of years there was the biggest year in
The
cinema.
salad days of cinema.
Give me late 300s.
Give me early 300s.
Right.
380. More. Less.
Less.
Whoa.
They didn't make any money. They made it grossed $149 million.
Oh, they lost money.
They lost a shit.
God, that's dreadful.
Yeah. This did not do well at all.
Wow. Why doesn't this ever come up in the conversation for like biggest flops?
Don't know.
I've never heard this get thrown around as a flop.
Yeah.
Have you?
Do you know why?
I mean,
no
you
one
know those-
fucking remembers it. That's
Yeah,
why.
that's
I know it's a bust. Like, yeah, but 40 million isn't that big a bust compared
That's a
to some of the
bust.
flops the flops.
As a percentage of spend, that's a bust.
Yeah, it's bad. And considering, fun fact out of the way right now,
Yeah, sure.
this was meant to be the first in a series of 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
6.
6.
They wrapped it all up in this one though.
Yeah.
does
I
it
don't
go
know.
from
I don't
here?
know.
What-
3/4 of the way through filming.
Oh, is that big? Is that they made a big deal out of the table at the end?
Yeah, the table at the end.
Oh,
Also,
true,
I believe that they were going to do more on the backstory of the individuals in the, like, we're going to learn more about Goose Fat Bill or whatever his name was. Shit
Great
like that.
name.
Yeah. So I think that they were going to actually, like, there was going to be converging paths of the gang. It was going to be more to do with his knights as well.
Yes.
And how he got them together, and that's
Yeah, that's fair, because I think the other King Arthur that we know is kind of like that, isn't it?
yeah.
I like the other. I was waiting for the names of all the knights to be part of this.
Like Lancelot.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was all going to come later. Lancelot, all that
So
sort of shit.
this
Yeah.
was the, I guess the start. What would you call it? What do they call it? The origin story.
Origin story, exactly.
Yeah, so they
Yep.
started with the origin. You never start with the origin story. Have we not learned?
Go back to it.
Yeah.
Make it big.
You
do a
start,
third
you
movie.
start in the best bit of the story of the character.
Yeah.
That's where you start. Then you go back and show them where it all started.
So it was, yeah, it was. It was a flop.
Mistakes
If
were
only
made.
Guy had us in the group chat, we could have helped him out.
So
I would have said, "Don't get with Madonna."
Good start. Riddle me this: Didn't he do like another? Did he do Robin Hood? Did he do that one with Morgan Freeman and the Taron Egerton? Was that
No,
not Guy
that's
Ritchie?
Jamie Foxx and Taron
Jamie
Egerton.
Foxx, sorry.
Is that
Morgan Freeman?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
40 years
Prince
apart
of
in
Thieves.
age.
That's Prince of
That's
Thieves.
the other. That's the other
Yeah,
Robin
no,
Hood.
he
yeah.
didn't.
It's funny.
No.
I
He didn't do that one.
No, I
I
don't
was
think
Taron
actually
Egerton
talking
one?
about this one today, so I'll be able to look it up because it should be
in your
my
recent search history.
Yeah.
Actually, just read out your recent search history just for the people at home. Just
No, just
that's what we're going to do as a game one.
can't do that.
The reason I bring it up
Last
while I
ever
search,
Robin Hood 2018, directed by
Who?
Oh, it's done by Otto Bernard.
I know.
Otto Bernard.
Yeah, I was just curious because I thought for some reason that was also Guy Ritchie, and then I'm like, how the fuck did he get more funding to do another very similar, as in an older story?
That
from-
Taron Egerton
Yeah.
Robin Hood is one of the biggest piles of shit.
It's a disgusting
I've
film.
seen it
It's
in a
a
long
disgusting
time.
It's just a shame, really, isn't it?
He's doing all right though. He's bouncing back on
Is
Taron.
Oh, yeah. I've still got my stock.
Yeah, oh yeah, keep it.
So bearing in mind that I said that I consider kill count websites to be notoriously inaccurate,
Yeah.
and I checked more than the top Google search result on this one too.
Has to be thousands.
It's fucking comically low is what I've got off the internet.
Okay, so we're just not including anything that happened in any of the battles?
Yeah, apparently these kill counts only concentrate on characters that we give a fuck about, like collateral damage.
Right. So then it's like
core
15 or
characters.
something like that.
Yeah,
Core characters? Oh, nah. Fuck off.
Hey, don't get emotional with me, mate. I'm not the director of
so many
CityMorgue.com.
fucking people that die in this.
I know.
movie.
So many.
I know.
But I
That's why I'm
can
super disappointed.
see... okay. No, that's fine. I'm okay with the website just counting. Like, if you've got a character name, then we'll kill it. We'll count it
That
as a
seems to
kill.
be the way.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Because otherwise,
They're
all of these
pausing the wide shot of the bridge and they're counting the heads of the soldiers
That's
that are
right.
about to collapse in the thing.
and it just becomes meaningless.
But I would just...
Does it?
Why
It
can't they
does.
just do like a little quadrant of like, there's 8 heads in that and then anyway.
I can
And then
understand
do
the
it
battle
down
bits,
by-
but
That's where your
the-
algebra comes in
When they're
handy.
escaping and killing all those guards as well, like, they've got to be fucking.
Yeah.
Have they got names?
It doesn't matter though. It's a big. They get their own deaths.
Have they got names?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, one was John.
It should be... Yeah,
Well,
if
count
they,
him. Count John.
Johnson.
I suppose if we see them die... anyway, we'll have a chat to CityMorgue.com
What did
about
they have it at anyway?
11.
Nah, that's
Move on.
that's
And I looked.
that's horse shit.
But so thanks for the synopsis, but fuck you for the kill count.
Yeah.
We'll send him an email.
Yeah, we'll have a word.
Get him on the pod.
Our people.
We'll get the director on the pod.
director of CityMorgue.com.
Get him on the pod.
It's crazy when
It's a 13-year-old
in the first
kid.
5 minutes.
We'll eviscerate that little bastard.
Fucking 4 of the main characters are dead immediately.
Yeah. So honestly, I was so skeptical. I was like, no, I'm going to dig a bit deeper. And then I put another 2 minutes effort into it. And I went, you know what? We'll just shit on
Just
it.
got
instead.
bored and moved on.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, the listeners have probably done by now.
Yeah.
Critic reviews.
Almost me. Yep. Carry on.
We are rolling out the hits here with the names.
Yeah.
So we're starting with Mick LaSalle from the San Francisco Chronicle. He's not a friend of the pod, but he's known to us.
Yeah, he's familiar. Nick LaSalle. Yep.
Ritchie aspires to be the great British director, but he's working his way through British icons. Sherlock Holmes wasn't even safe. Hang on, I fucked that right up. I should read these first. Start again.
Welcome to my world.
Ritchie aspires to be a great British director, but he's working his way through British icons. Sherlock Holmes wasn't even safe. Does no one any good. He just reduces them to his own vernacular, his own level, and he ends up revealing nothing about them and everything about his own narrow vision. 25.
Ooh.
Do you know what I picked up?
I didn't totally disagree with some of that, but it's a little strong.
Do you know what? The critics fucking hate Guy Ritchie.
Yeah, they always have.
Oh, man. Like, it's almost all of the, I've obviously kept it to a few, but almost all of them that I read were very personal.
Yeah, and they just don't like the types of movies he makes.
I love
a-
everything Guy Ritchie.
Of course, because he's an entertainment director, not an art director.
Yeah.
And they don't like entertainment directors.
But why got him personally? I mean, this one from Rolling Stone says Madonna could have done better. No, it doesn't.
No one in history
No, but they
have
do.
ever said
Like,
that.
we'll see. Anyway, I'll read on and we'll see how we go. Peter Travers from Rolling Stone,
Yes.
also known to the pod.
We know
Big
Peter.
Pete.
An epic bore that believes if you make a movie long and loud and repetitive enough, audiences will conclude that it's something profound.
Disagree.
Wrong.
Yeah,
25.
I didn't think it was overly long or boring.
What is it? 2 hours and 20 minutes?
It was pretty long.
Pretty hard stretch to call it boring.
No, I didn't find it boring
No,
at all.
there's a lot going on,
Yeah.
whether you're into it or not. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't call
I'm
it.
not gonna lie. There's
boring.
parts that felt long, but I didn't really particularly find anything too boring.
Yeah.
Peter, what's that?
I got thoughts on that.
Okay. Peter, it might be one of these people that keeps saying movies are too loud.
Yeah, I think he is.
I don't get
I've
it.
heard him say loud before.
Yeah. People need to start wearing earmuffs.
I watched the movie Silent Night
Yeah.
with Joel Kinnaman.
Can't
Yeah.
wait. Can't wait.
Mm.
Yeah. Really? I've heard good things. Isn't it John Woo?
Let's
It's
make
one of the worst films of last year.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
let's make a few things clear. I wish that movie was loud.
yeah.
And
It's John Woo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that's not a good thing.
I lasted
John Woo.
27 minutes.
I liked John Woo.
Okay. Do you reckon Jean-Claude Van Damme fucked him up?
It's
Okay. I'm probably still going to watch it.
not one of my favorite
we're gonna do
directors,
it on
one of
the
my
pod
favorite
next
actors. It's just, it's fucking
Right.
bullshit.
Why did you bring that up? Sorry, why did we start talking about?
that
I
was a
wish that
quiet
was
movie.
loud, and I just watched it recently.
It's just
because
it's just
there's no
letting us know.
dialogue.
There's no dialogue.
There's no dialogue.
It's just reading
Right.
diary entries.
Yeah.
Tuesday. Watch Silent Night.
When they say loud, though,
Disappointed.
they're talking loud as in like the overall production is loud, as in it's colourful. Like you'd say a Marvel movie's loud.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you'd say
Because presumably it's not the volume at the cinema. Because take that up with Hoyts.
I think so. But who knows with Big Pete? He's all over the place.
Yeah, he's lost.
All right, let's go.
Joe Morgenstein.
Yeah, we know.
We're having all the hits.
Yeah, the morgue is back. The morgue is back. Wall Street Journal is with here.
Yeah.
The latest retelling of the ancient Athenian myth is a stinker for the ages. 30.
Stinker for the ages.
Fucking savage. Alison Shoemaker.
Isn't Morgue like 90 years old?
He sounds old.
Didn't I go after him on Facebook?
And we felt bad.
And he was about 94 years old or something. His most prestigious film career kept going or something.
Let's just hope his fucking will's in order. Alison Shoemaker, Consequence. A film made of utter nonsense that's even less interested in its characters than it is in telling a story. 33.
Jesus.
Moria MacDonald from the Seattle Times. King Arthur, the Legend of the Sword, lumbers on for more than 2 hours, weighed down with oversized elephants, excessively populated action sequences, and weirdly sudden occurrences of slow motion as if the film is yawning.
Wow.
38.
I won't have anyone besmirch those giant elephants because that was cool.
That was pretty
Very cool.
That was pretty dope.
Very cool.
And when they just decided to stop fighting.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I'll give this a miss.
Michael Phillips from the Chicago Tribune.
The swimmer.
Phillips, the Australian fast swimmer.
That's Michael Phelps.
That's
Phelps.
The bong smoking fucking world record holder. Yeah, he became my new hero. As soon as I found it.
You're thinking of Michael Klim.
Fastest stoner ever.
I'm thinking of Michael Klim.
You're getting your Olympians all twisted.
My Michaels.
Yeah.
I always stuff up my Michaels. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a grim and stupid thing from one of the world's most successful, mediocre filmmakers.
Successful media. That's unfair.
That's
such an original
sandwich, isn't it?
It's such an original film, an original voice in cinema. How dare they?
And I
call
left
him?
some of them that were just shitting on Guy Ritchie out. Basically.
Yeah.
Do you know what I did for the first time ever as well? Because I'm all about, being thorough.
Shat
I
with your
wanted to
pants
see what the highest. It's not the first time. There was an incident in Chicago. The highest review said. I was like, okay,
This is what Duff does.
this is
It's his
what I-
favourite trick.
Yeah,
Throws
I know.
one in there.
Might have stopped. So, Alan Salkin from the New York Daily News, which shocked me to be the publication that thought the highest of this.
Not in the daytime.
What? The stylish and engrossing reinterpretation of the mythological king's early years lacks character development, but makes up for it with swashbuckling, sword-fighting, beast-slaying fun. 80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all about that.
But you could easily agree with that, and you could also agree with the 25 one. I think the difference is the mindset you went in to watch it.
Yeah.
Like if you went in to have a good time with a fantasy action thriller or whatever you want to call it, then you could probably go, I had a really good time with that, which is what that guy did. Or you go into it going, I wonder what Guy Ritchie's going to serve me up this time.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's 25. Yeah.
And this is the thing, you're going in to see a movie about a mythological king. I keep saying mythological, I should stop doing that. Made by Guy Ritchie.
Yeah.
What the fuck were you expecting?
What did you want?
Yeah.
He's an entertainer.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
I have
you seen his
thoughts-
other films? Like,
Yeah. I have a lot of thoughts on what I did want and what I got in that regard. Should we open
So
it?
do I.
Let's open the floor.
please.
My first impressions, I thought the opening CGI looked a bit whack.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I was on board with it.
Felt a little
You
video
mean
gamey.
like with the elephants, the big battle scene?
No, the very, very early stuff.
What was the very, very early stuff?
The elephants are good, but the wide range shots.
Yeah,
is
the
that
wide
what you're
shots.
thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I agree with you.
Felt a little video gamey.
I thought the opening scene was the battle scene. What did I miss?
It's just the initial setup, like crossing over the castle.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
with
thought
the hawk and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
Okay, I didn't.
the action sequences when it starts moving and you had animals and shit involved,
Yeah.
like mythical beasts. Great.
Yeah. Thought it was very impressive.
But I thought, oh fuck, here we go. Like I thought, like we were in for something bad.
Yeah.
In terms of that, and I thought if the CGI in this is bad, first of all, Ken's not going to turn up to the recording of this podcast.
I didn't have a problem with the CGI at any
yeah.
point in the movie.
Yeah. There's $175 million spent on this movie. You'd hope. Yeah.
I thought it looked like $175 million, to be honest.
We open with title cards again, which has been a running theme of season 3 of The Redeemables.
Yeah.
I was thoroughly confused by the story, though. Like first of all, the font did me no favours.
I fucking hate that old ye English font.
I was like, what is happening? And I was like,
ye old English, sorry.
because it turns out I don't remember a fucking thing about this movie. Like I watched this movie like it was the first time I'd ever seen it. Finally, being a degenerate stoner is paying off.
I'm the same. So I watched it when it first was available at home. I didn't go to the cinema for this one. but I didn't actually recall whether I liked it or not.
Yeah.
Which that's rare for me. I catalogue them in my head. Like
Is that
good,
worse?
bad,
That's a
or-
bad sign,
It is.
right?
It's a bad sign.
Yeah, I call it the Foo Fighters effect.
Well, it's a bad sign, but also there's a special place in my head for these movies that I don't really recall whether I like them or not, and that's I'll have to watch that again sometime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah.
So I enjoyed the fact that you made me watch it again.
Me too. I got the same thing. The first time I watched it, I turned it off.
Okay, how far did you make it?
What? About an hour in.
Right.
And this time I put it
That's
on.
a sunk cost by that point. You just keep
Yeah.
going,
It
don't you?
wasn't that bad.
No.
You turn it off.
But this time I watched it. I was fucking all in. I fucking loved it.
Did you really?
Oh man, I could not fathom how much I loved it, and all because when they jump off the edge of the cliff, one of the guards pretends to push the other guard off. And then I just found it. I embraced the Guy Ritchie of it all, like hunting, working in the streets, and all that stuff. It's just like little fast clips of what Guy Ritchie does, and then I was in.
Yeah.
And then I get to the Badlands. It's like, let me tell you, I want to see a whole movie of just him in the Badlands.
Really? Yeah.
Fucking loved it.
Man.
I thought you might. As I was watching it, I was going...
I don't remember the elephants.
Well, I was thinking Duff's going to love this because it's a spectacle.
Yeah.
And it's highly entertaining.
But I remember turning it off because I would have been bored.
Yeah, right.
I wasn't
Wow.
bored at any point. I was, as you guys would imagine, it was heavy on the fantasy.
Yes,
And
I was worried.
Man,
Right from the get-go. There was so much magic in the first 2
Fuck me,
minutes. I
man.
was like, fucking Ken's...
I didn't remember
It's like they're getting
it.
rid of the magic. I was like, yes, can
Ken's through his coffee table through his TV, all right?
I didn't. I didn't remember it being that heavy on the magic and the fantasy and the ghouls and goblins and the wizardry and all that shit. I don't recall that at all when I
Me
first
neither,
watched
man.
it. I remember some of it, as in there was some of that, but I remember it being a very small part. No. This is a fantasy film before anything else.
Yeah.
It's King Arthur fantasy, and there's also some action.
There's an ice sword and a fucking guy made of fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
So
remember
fantasy.
the fucking elephants at the start.
Fuck, that was
I don't turn off a movie with elephants at the start.
You did.
But I fucking did. And
But maybe it's because halfway through there, you're like, no more elephants, is
so
there?
immediately, like the title card comes up, I'm like, yeah. This is going to be shit. Already hate it. And then I see a fucking
That's the spirit.
huge elephant leg and a tusk. I was like, no, this wasn't in the version I watched.
Yeah.
But fucking
Those elephants are great.
And then the fucking elephants, and then there's there's big bats.
I
there's
didn't.
wolves.
Well, I didn't understand the size of the elephants because I was
I
like,
did.
well, that's straight away. I was like, oh, it's a fantasy.
It's a fantasy movie.
But I was like, why do the animals have to be in the fantasy world as well? Like,
Why not?
Why do we have giant elephants? And if we've got giant elephants, why don't we have giant anything else?
We do. You have giant snakes. You got
Was
a
there?
titan.
Oh, there was a
Oh, yeah.
giant snake. That's right.
Yeah, man.
There was some
Forgot
crazy
about
shit. Eric
Oh,
Banner.
Giant bats.
Good to see Eric Banner, wasn't it?
I was just about to say, so we've seen the giant elephants, right? And we've seen a pretty cool battle kind of thing, even if you're not into fantasy. I was like, man, this is cool as shit.
Yeah.
And then the first opening dialogue is Eric Banner, Jude Law, and Digimon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sign me up, man. I'm going to watch this film with a very open mind, even though it's fantasy.
I did. I couldn't believe how enthralled I was, and I want to go back to whenever I turned it off and slap myself and go, give it a go, mate.
Give it a go.
I'm genuinely shocked.
Obviously, you're a bit grouchy. Fucking give it
Yeah,
a go.
yeah.
I was fucking
Go make a cheese sandwich.
Right now,
for 2 hours and 20 minutes. I was fucking entertained.
Wow.
I didn't want. It's one of those movies that go really fast, and I didn't want it to end.
I'm so shocked.
what you're feeling right now is what I felt when I watched Assassin's Creed a couple of months ago. And I don't want to bring that up because I know it's a sore spot for you. You didn't like it. But that same feeling where I was like, fuck me for not watching this properly the first time. This is very good. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
cool.
great.
All right,
I'm
glad.
shocked, but yeah,
Glad.
that's excellent.
I'm glad one of us at least had a great time.
Oh man, I can't.
No,
even-
I did enjoy it. I
So I remember complaining to someone, and I was like, "Oh, fucking King Arthur!" I remember it being shit. And then I watched it. Actually, I didn't even watch it last night. I watched it a day earlier.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, but not cramming it to.
And I sat there and just fucking. I was just enthralled by the whole fucking thing. I was
Wow.
like all in.
Great to hear.
So what got me in straight away is I just like the basic premise of the Born King.
Yep.
He's the rightful ruler, but he doesn't know it.
Yep.
And no one knows it. love that shit. Like straight away, I was like, "That's a really, really fucking cool."
And he's
premise.
hustling.
It's a very
street smart.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a very common fantasy theme. That one, isn't it?
Yeah,
the Born King that doesn't know he's the king. Yeah,
that and the other thing that I really, really like to witness, and I probably brought this up before, is when someone's got powers and they're discovering their powers and they're learning to harness them and use them. So that was part of it
him
as
with
well.
the sword.
Because not only was he the king, he was a magical king.
Yeah,
which is pretty fucking.
Yeah,
pretty
well, the
dope.
sword was
the
magical.
sword's magic.
Yeah, but it gave him magic, right?
Did it?
Well, he had some powers.
With the
Well,
sword.
I think
Do
the
you know what
sword
the best
was
power
like
was?
when you slashed, the sword was expanding itself.
Right.
I don't think he had
But
powers.
it's
I'm
good.
not sure.
He,
He
has
had
to
the
activate it.
bloodline.
Otherwise, anyone could have just grabbed the magical sword.
Yeah, true.
You guys
true.
are diminishing his part. Of
His
this.
part of it, yeah. So it's his connection with the sword that is the magic.
Synergy.
I'm not going to sit here and talk about magic for an hour. Like,
Can I
I'm
just say-
I'm just not.
The way they did the stone
Yeah.
and the fucking
dad.
sword in the stone, that's fucking sick.
The way it
It's
turned out to be Banner?
Actually Banner.
Yeah. I've got that down as one of the things I really, really liked.
Great idea.
Also, the best power of the sword, fucking vaporizing motherfuckers.
Love it.
Very cool.
That was really dope.
Yeah, I worry slightly, and this is just me showing my lack of care for fantasy, but I worry slightly about the powers of the sword, like the extent of those powers, because what he was able to do with it a couple of times, like, oh, okay, so he's just going to rule the world now with that sword.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess he does in a way.
And the good thing that would have been interesting to witness there is obviously what Ritchie did differently is he made him come up hard on the back streets like the Cinemorgue.
Great. Loved it.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
It gave doing that, it gave the Ritchie-esque stuff. Like,
Yes.
you can see him hustling, and it's like,
Yeah.
what's
that
that
montage,
guy's-
that first montage.
the montage and the rugs, they're selling the rugs and stuff.
I
like
loved that
Yeah.
first 5 minutes, or I think it only went for about 5 or 10, but it felt like a full story.
He grew up.
Yeah.
He grew
We're
up,
watching-
yeah,
yeah.
and we're watching him train
coins,
to learn
yeah.
how to fight, learn how to hustle,
The
learn how
coin
to,
motif I really liked. It was basically all showing in a really good way him grow up really fast and how much of a part that like crime and violence were playing a part in his
Yes.
upbringing.
Yes.
And the coin was just sort of the reason why they kept seeing the coins go away.
Yep.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
That was great.
That's Guy Ritchie.
Vintage Guy Ritchie.
Yep.
Knows how-
100%.
He
Yeah.
does a montage like a motherfucker.
He
Guy
really
Ritchie,
does, yeah.
I love a good one.
Yeah,
Quick
so
cut edits, a bit of slow-mo, flashbacks.
Yeah, it's the edits.
I-
The edits get me.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the reason I was happy to watch this and had a good time, even though it's fantasy and I despise fantasy, was because Guy Ritchie grounded King Arthur and Charlie Hunnam. As in, he grounded that character. So even though he had magic and all that shit,
Yeah.
the fact that he grew up on the streets, he learned how to fight, he learned how to hustle, he lived in a brothel, he didn't know his dad and his mum, all that shit, it was like, okay, this is a real life character. This isn't wizard boy that does magic out of his eyes. This is and I can't, if he was that, I can't watch.
Are you taking shots at powder?
I am a little bit. Powder again? Harry Potter, I think, is what I was taking shots at.
Never seen it.
But like that, I can't watch that sort of fantasy. But this, I was like, okay, I'm not going to like a lot of this, but the character is grounded in reality, and I can emotionally connect with that, so I'm in.
I didn't really.
That's just me.
I didn't really see it as a fantasy. I thought it was more like an adventure film. For
It's
me.
a fantasy.
There's lots of
It's a huge fantasy. But I fucking took it as
one
an adventure.
one of the reviewers said swashbuckling, and that was kind of hit the nail on the head there.
Mm.
The Guy Ritchie bits was so great, as in the shtick. When they're talking to each other and all of a sudden it just goes Guy Ritchie gangster movie.
Yeah.
The exchange
So
over
great,
here, the
man.
exchange between the black leg sergeant and Art,
yeah.
when he comes around, it's all fast quips and all that sort of stuff.
And there's flashing to the moment that's happening, and they're kind of narrating.
We don't
it.
really get a lot of that for the rest of the film, though.
No, there was maybe 3 different parts, I think, where it had that for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And I really liked it. Yeah. I didn't feel out of place for me.
It was like a fun print, like of Guy Ritchie.
Yeah,
fun
but it
print.
also feels a little bit, to me, it felt a little bit like Guy Ritchie struggling, like wanting to put more of Guy Ritchie shit in his fantasy.
Yeah.
I've spent the last few days trying to unpack my feelings about this movie, to be honest.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't dislike it. I didn't love it.
Did you enjoy watching it?
Most of it.
Okay.
But I kept wanting something different.
Oh, yeah.
And what I wanted was more Guy Ritchie and less magic.
Yes.
100%. If it was more that grounded stuff you're talking about.
Yep.
And what I don't get as well is Guy Ritchie could have basically said it. He could have done all his Guy Ritchie shit, but this is obviously he's trying to break the mold.
Yeah.
But like, I just want more mold.
Yeah.
He could have given us, like, his thing is like putting groups of these characters together. He had heaps of leeway to do all that sort of shit. Their backstories, all of that. That would have been more interesting to me than all the magic elements.
Yes. So you want a Guy Ritchie gangster film. It's like let's say a Lock, Stock or a Snatch.
Yeah.
But in the King Arthur world.
Yes.
Great. Sign me up. It's exactly what I thought afterwards.
And that's the last thing that Guy Ritchie's ever going to do, unfortunately.
I was like, I didn't hate this movie at all. I had a good time. I don't like fantasy, so can I get the Guy Ritchie version of this without the magic? I think that movie can exist.
Yeah.
I think that movie actually does better.
I would have really liked it. Because the other thing as well is the way it was shot visually. I love the shots of the scenery. Like he's just like the shots of the English scenery, presumably it's England.
Yeah, that fucking weird waterfall.
All those cliffs and the hills and the shots, they were fucking so
beautiful.
great.
Yeah.
And then you'd only get a little bit of that and then it'd be CGI fest again.
Perfect.
And I was like, I'd like a bit more real, actual tactile shit. Like real the real scenery. You've got something there to work with.
Yeah.
And we're only seeing flashes of it in lieu of like another scene of like another dark scene with lots of CGI, another shot of fucking.
Well, yeah, you're right. And you think about a lot of those movies that are from that time period, like medieval, and they do use the landscape a lot more than he did. Yeah,
because I think shots of guys. I think for that reason, obviously they didn't have. Not everyone had 175 million to spend.
He built fucking cities with that 175 million.
I've got some stuff about because I wanted to know how much of it was real and built and all that sort of stuff. And how
I think
much
you
it
built
was.
a whole wharf.
I'd love to hear it. Yeah, that scene where they're
then
I got a little bit.
set the motherfucker on fire.
Yeah, the scene where they're gonna bow and arrow like sniper basically the king.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's good.
I feel like they built that whole town or village or whatever.
They
you call
built
it
the
there.
bridge.
Oh, that would be a set.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
built
So
that.
they did. There's some big sets in it. They built the bridge and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love it.
And
I love it
they
when
put a
they
lot of
build
effort
shit.
into the costuming as well. I've just got a couple little bits about that later
Great.
on. But yeah.
Great.
I just felt that they. Yeah, I didn't hate it, but I just wanted it to be a bit more of the bits that I liked were the quintessential Guy Ritchie bits.
Yep.
And I fully understand why he doesn't want it. Like by the time he's dropping like Rock and Roller,
Yep.
people are like, oh, for fuck's sake, Guy Ritchie, like
Might be enough.
yeah,
Yep.
But I was like, you know what?
It's never
By
enough.
It's never
2017,
enough.
I'm like, let's go again.
Yeah,
bro.
can we have another? Yeah.
I actually think the reason I turned this off the first time was it wasn't Guy Ritchie.
Okay.
Maybe I was too cut up about that because I can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
It's fucking hell.
It'd be interesting if this was released with Otto Braberman's name or whatever that dude's. What is his name?
Not interested. Otto
But like just like some no-name director.
Yeah.
Would the same expectation come with it, and would we be thinking differently?
I think it would have been a pile of shit if Guy Ritchie didn't do this.
Yeah.
So as in the Guy Ritchie bits in this are arguably the best bits.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, the gangster dialogue, the quick cuts or whatever you want to call it, the Guy Ritchie style.
Yep.
What elevates this a bit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you have a generic director just doing a fantasy blockbuster in the King Arthur world, no thank you.
Yeah.
The other thing, I agree.
No,
I completely agree. Yeah, because I think, the other thing, I think that they might have done differently if this wasn't supposed to be setting up another 5 films or whatever, is a less convoluted storyline. Because the bare bones of this story, there's a reason why this IP has been made 400 times. Because it's a fucking cool story.
It is a good story.
You got to get the sword out of the rock.
Yep.
It turns out the rock's Eric Banner. Fucking who knew?
Crazy. Fucking nuts.
Yeah, you got to get the sword out of the rock. You know, the guy, like I said before, he doesn't know he's the king. They're trying to find the king, and there's a growing evil. You've got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Fucking wicked premise. They started to overcomplicate things because they were like, we don't want to use Merlin. So we're going to use Merlin's people and we'll allude to Merlin, but all of them have got, the mages have all got powers. And then it just got a little bit convoluted for me. And I reckon it's because they were trying to set up enough threads to carry on for multiple films.
You got to worry.
Yeah.
You got to worry if that's a Guy Ritchie thing or that's a studio thing.
I reckon it's a studio thing. That's what I'm saying. I reckon
he could have
Guy
done
Ritchie
this
would like to
with
scale it
his
back.
Hands behind his back type deal. It's like fucking cool. Like these characters are well known, like Lancelot, all that shit are well known, but they never get called what they are.
Yeah.
Like one guy's called Oddball or something.
It can't be it couldn't be a rights thing, could it? As in the studio's got the rights to King Arthur, but maybe perhaps not Merlin or not Lancelot.
No, it was there was some. I read a little bit about it.
Okay.
They were just basically wanting to change up the story a little bit. That's why there's no Guinevere.
Because
I
thought she was Guinevere.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
and then I
don't know the story that well. So I do.
All my knowledge is
Guinevere's his missus.
Yeah. Is there one that's one in this movie? Is there one that they allude to being Merlin?
No, they mentioned Merlin is one of the mages, and he's the one who blessed the sword or whatever. But so Merlin came generations before, but he was. They were. This is the other thing. They hadn't written the rest of these movies. They had the general layout for it, but as far as I'm aware, they hadn't written it. They were planning for him to become a bigger part of it later on, in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. But it's like they were deliberately swerving away from the known.
So they spend 175. They hope the movie does 500, and if it does, bang, 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 bang. This is our new franchise.
Yeah, because there's also a bit with the sniping of the bow and arrows. Like, why has he got a grudge with that guy?
Yeah,
you don't really find out why he's got a massive.
The
grudge.
ninjas.
No, with the guy he actually kills.
Goose Egg Bill or whatever his name is.
Yeah. Like, why did they have such a big... Because he always tries to capture him. Yeah, sure enough, you're a part of the resistance, fuckhead.
Yeah. It's your job, bro.
I think that's what it was.
Was that it?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought that was really lame, and I think there's another story there that they've alluded to but haven't gone through.
Yeah, that's what I read, is that they were definitely going to go delve into the backstories of the people who made up his crew, his posse.
You know what? If they brought out another one next year, I'd watch it. I'd definitely watch it.
Back then I wouldn't. Now?
Yeah. All the same people?
I would go, yeah. Like, as in what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like some sort of a sequel spin-off thing where they focus on another character or whatever. I'd go, yeah, okay. If Guy Ritchie's doing it, and we get some Guy Ritchie stuff in there, maybe we back off the fantasy a little bit.
You probably would. You probably would, because it's such a big, strong...
I'd reboot it with Michael Bay and explosions.
I mean, don't hate that.
I mean, I don't hate that. He's not having much magic. Michael Bay's the you of this podcast.
He doesn't do magic.
There's no magic.
He doesn't do magic.
It's not a sword. It's a machine gun. He has to pick up. And it's not Hunting. It's fucking Nicolas Cage.
Perfect.
Oh, right.
You're talking to me. Keep
it's
going.
not Jude Law. It's Jake.
Keep going.
Gyllenhaal.
Amazon could make it into a pretty decent TV show. So
what, like Lords of the Rings or whatever?
Yeah,
that TV show that no one watched. Did people watch that?
I watched it.
Did you?
Yeah.
What about the John Wick one? Did you watch that? No. Oh, me neither. The Gentleman, are you going to watch that?
Yeah.
Can we talk about the music?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I thought there was some couple of great songs in this that like hit for me.
Really?
As in, I pulled out Shazam and I was like, "What the hell is that?"
Oh no, shit!
And I want that. Yeah. So
a jig? Are we talking jig?
No, well, kinda. There was two. There was one in particular towards the start, and it was kind of, I don't know how to describe this kind of music, because it's kind of world music in a way. It was kind of like this Celtic woman singing over the top of like a pretty dark sort of piano riff, I guess you call it.
Like the Cranberries.
Yeah, sure. And then, so there was that one, Shazam that, couldn't find it. And then later on, there was a song when he gets the snake bite and he's going to trip out. Basically. It was kind of like a tripping montage.
Yeah.
And there's this like blues, like foot stomper.
Oh, yeah.
This guy with the deep voice. And I was like,
I remember the foot stomping.
That was a cracker.
I actually loved
I'll throw it in here.
Yeah,
the special effects fucking noises for every time he grabs the swords.
Oh yeah, that's
that
cool.
shit.
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
So yeah, I thought there was some really cool and like kind of brave music choices for a blockbuster.
Yeah.
Like for 175 mil, they're going to usually toe the line with the music and just put out generic fucking, Evanescence is going to open the... Wait, was this 2007 or 2017? Evanescence shit.
Well, they were cheap.
Yeah, but whatever rock band was big in 2017, like Linkin Park or some shit, they would have dropped them in. What I've done. Let's like remake it with that. Anyway,
Paramore.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've just got a list of things that I enjoyed and stuff that I didn't quite enjoy. What about you guys?
Yeah, go. Yeah, shoot.
I did really enjoy the scene where he actually pulls Excalibur out of Eric Bana.
David Beckham. David Beckham's
I was
big
like,
moment.
holy fuck, that's he wasn't terrible, was he? He was pretty good.
Beckham.
I thought he was good.
He's great.
You didn't like him?
He bothered me a bit.
Really?
Love him.
I was like, what is that going on?
Have you watched the Beckham documentary?
No.
That's why.
I've seen some of it.
Yeah, I'm in love.
Love him. Yeah, he's great. He's a lad.
I liked it. I
He's
actually
a lad.
really
Did love it.
I didn't, up until I watched the Beckham documentary, I'd have been like, oh, fuck it, it's David Beckham. And then I was like, it's my boy David Beckham.
It's weird. I've always liked Beckham.
I was pretty much indifferent until I
He's
watched
just
that
done some
documentary.
great things, man. He's a real humanitarian.
He's just
he's
a
also
lad.
just a cheeky lad.
He's just a lad.
What's not to love?
Yeah, I like him now. I mean, he made and produced a documentary which sold me on him.
Yeah.
So make of that what you will. But no, I enjoyed it. That whole scene, they did a good job of building the tension because obviously we had an inkling that he was going to be able to pull the sword out.
Yeah.
But they did a really good job the way it was shot, the build up to it, all that sort of shit. And then the actual scene where he pulled it out, I thought that was one of the highlights, the way it was done.
I didn't like how he pushed in line. It bothers me.
He's just a mad prick, though, wasn't he? He was just like,
everyone's
a hard
don't
bastard.
fuck with him. Yeah, everyone just clears the lane for Charlie Hunnam.
He was meant to be macho.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not wear a white fleece jacket. Fuck, the jacket bothered me. He's like, he's the only person with that fucking clothes.
There's a reason.
Time.
Yeah. That was deliberate as well. So Jude Law and Charlie were the
white and black.
Only people to wear white in the whole film.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, everyone else
royal.
is yeah, exactly.
Has Charlie Hunnam, and maybe we talk about this when we get to Charlie Hunnam, but is he occasionally maybe miscast slightly as a tough guy? Because he's very handsome.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's in that Sons of Anarchy and he's like a tough guy in that. I haven't watched it, but I'm
he's
assuming
the toughest guy.
Yeah, he's a tough guy.
It's fucking hard.
But he does do it well, but I don't know whether he's like... Because he's fucking handsome, man.
You reckon he's too cute?
He's too handsome to be that tough.
I don't fucking...
And then in this, he's meant to be the real tough guy. Like, everyone's clearing the lane for him. I'm like, no, he's like 6'1", 160 pounds. Like, I
think he's perfect. Like, The Gentleman, he's fucking great in that. He's a hard man.
Yeah.
And he was also in Rebel Moon. That's where he played like a little bitch character. I didn't like
Did
it.
he?
Yeah.
I didn't make it all the way through that.
He was in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. Was he?
Pretty much.
Oh, that's how much I watched.
You didn't notice him because he's being nice. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought he was good in this. I've never considered it before.
I think he's well cast in this.
Yeah.
No, he is. Yeah, but I don't know.
Got some fun facts on how he got the job too, which might change your mind.
Sure.
I like the kid.
Which
sassy little prick?
The young
Goose
kid.
Fat. Young Goose Fat Junior, Young Blood.
No, that wasn't Goose Fat. That was Blue.
Oh.
And he's the son of the other guy.
Yeah. With my boy Blue.
Not Goose Fat. Yeah. Yeah, he was good. He was a good boy.
That was the bit where he
got
goes
a bit emotional.
He doesn't care for him and like he doesn't know who he is. He's just here to clean.
Yeah, that was good,
fucking
man.
really clever.
That's what I liked about him.
I reckon there's no advantage in them finding out that kid is his son. They should have just kept that little montage, that little bit going, and the kid just escapes.
I think so too.
You don't have to bring it up that the kid fucked up and goes, I don't care for him.
Yeah, I agree. Completely agree.
Because that was the fucking highlight. That was one of the highlights of the movie. That fucking whole exchange with Jude Law and that guy.
Yeah.
It was.
And
good.
that guy was just so great.
He's
in a bunch of stuff. I don't know his name, but he's usually not a good character.
No.
I love a sacrifice.
Yeah.
A few sacrifices happen in this.
Yeah. But that, as you say, that whole scene, the way it was just, Jude Law strides in, it was just pretty menacing. I enjoyed it. Jude Law was fucking great.
He was good.
Oh.
You hated him, didn't you?
Oh, he's just a real piece of shit.
I hate his fucking guts and everything he's ever done.
Really?
Oh, well, because I love him.
Oh,
but when he's a bad guy,
when he's a bad guy,
fuck,
he does a good bad guy. He does a good pathetic bad guy.
Yeah.
The other good bad guy was Mischief John.
Mischief John, yeah.
He was the henchman.
Is he the one that killed them all in the cave and then just sat there?
He's the one whose wife, it was his turn to cook and his wife was going to be pissed off.
Yeah, that's right.
That was Guy Ritchie dialogue.
Yeah.
It was a little bit
that dude killed
jarring.
A lot of people.
It felt a little bit
sometimes,
but
with the Guy Ritchie
just because I love Guy Ritchie. Like at first I go, oh, hang on, he's actually talking. He's doing the geezer gangster thing.
Yeah,
100%. But I'm like, fucking, I love it.
Let it go.
Yeah. I'm like, I'll allow it.
I think that's when I thought the critics are going to hate this.
Yeah,
when they're like, shoehorned in Guy Ritchie gangster dialogue into a King Arthur movie, into a fantasy movie.
I'm all about it. You can turn away from the gangster and just say it's their accent.
No, it's just
I was fine.
It's like their cadence and everything, like the way they backwards and forwards, that sort of shit. Yeah. Another part where they did that, which was a Guy Ritchie kind of flourish, was the escape caper. I enjoyed that, and what they did was they interspliced the planning of the caper with the carrying out of the caper as well. So it was like, then we'll do this, and then it was a flash back or forward, I guess, to them actually carrying out that part of the plan, and then we'll do this, and then that was good. I really enjoyed that part.
Yeah.
Allow me to run you through the proceedings as I think they will unfold. So start by telling us...
If you're intending to galvanize the people of this country against the current king, there has to be a realistic strategy. Strategy requires leadership.
Then they'll bang on for a while about how clever and educated they are.
In the art of war, diplomacy, and chivalry.
And how underqualified I am.
Is it not true that this man was raised in a brothel and has no formal education of any kind?
Then they'll start taking the piss.
And what are we to be called, Bedivere? Knights of the Bordello? Or the ladies of the knights?
Have you finished? I'm gonna have to pull them on it.
I'm glad you've got a sense of humor, because you're gonna need it.
I'm going to be forced to tell them there's not a bollock between you. At which point, Bedivere, you're going to get very angry and tell me off. You'll say something along the lines of, what were you going to do if they wanted to fight? And I'm going to say, I was never going to fight. And you're going to say, well, what was going to happen? I was going to say, that's what you're here for, Bedivere, you big, silly, posh bastard.
I always like it when someone's walking into battle dragging a sword behind them across the fucking stones.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I want to arrive at office in the morning.
Yeah.
All bad.
Just to assert my dominance. Good, isn't it?
Well, you can do it.
You can just walk through
no
the
one's
shop.
stopping you.
It's probably against HR rules. They're pretty fucking funny
Fuck
about
HR.
that. I know. It was an incident with my air fryer yesterday. Don't want to talk about it. That's sort of most of my list of things that I quite enjoyed.
What did you guys think about the actual unleashing of the sword, the fight where he kills like 40 people? And that fucking...
my highlight of the movie, so my favourite bit was when they're just after the failed execution and they're
Just
on the
escape,
run, and they get to the MMA gym, which is that's what I'm calling
Yeah.
it, where he
Yeah.
kind of grew up.
That pretty much
and
is
then
it.
none of the guys, they all refuse to leave.
Yeah.
and the master of the MMA gym kind of says, no, these guys, they live for this. They hate
They've
the
been
black
training-
legs. They've been training
Yeah.
for this their whole lives.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's going to be fucking wicked. Yeah, get them all in there, and they're just going to cut them to pieces. And then it was cool for like 30 seconds.
When guys jumping in the air and firing 4 arrows before he hits the ground.
And I was like, this is wicked. This is what this movie needs. And then
Charlie Hunnam's sword took over and ruined
just
the whole
wiped
scene.
the whole. Yeah, I was
Thank
like,
you.
give me another 5 minutes of that. Yeah.
I wanted to see like a gladiator essence fucking just these hard men, let them fight.
Yeah.
Let
them
the
fight.
boys have
So
it.
they built that up where these guys could do some more heroic sacrifices, and you could get all emotional watching this cool battle scene, and then they just kind of shut it down.
Yeah,
so my favorite bit of the movie, but then my most disappointing.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, because I thought the same thing. It was overshadowed by Charlie Hunnam's sword.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it didn't need to be.
No,
So let him fight.
Give me a 10-minute fucking
Yeah,
brawl.
yeah, I'm fine with that.
Because that's the other thing. He's meant to be a wicked swordsman, so we never really got to see him actually.
And I alluded to this earlier about his sword. It's a little too powerful.
Yeah, I agree now.
Yeah, because
You've
now
won me on that.
we don't get to see any actual sword stuff.
I agree.
The only sword stuff we saw was when he's fighting the demon in the Dark World at the end, basically the last 15 minutes, and that's one of those boss fights that goes on a bit long.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sounding really negative all of a sudden.
No, we're at that portion of the podcast.
Yeah.
I've got
Are we? Are we doing negatives? All right, let me
get.
get my 4-page.
The Clive Owen King Arthur does King Arthur a lot better.
This made me really want to watch that.
Oh man,
I'm not
so
gonna lie.
much. I fucking love that movie.
It really made me want to watch that.
Love it so much.
I'll choose it next.
Yeah,
really go.
Let's get back to that King
yeah.
Arthur.
Yeah, and then we'll do Prince of Thieves. We'll just do a Robin Hood run.
Then I'll do Robin Hood with.
No, because then we'll have to watch the Russell Crowe Robin Hood.
What? I looked at it today. It's 53, man. We can't do it.
Really? It's not
can't
good.
do it.
It's not good. It's Ridley's worst.
What was the
I don't hate it.
Prince of Thieves, the fucking parody one? That was good as well.
Men in Tights.
Men in Tights.
We're men in tights.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Sorry, where were we?
I'll just go here. I love the ninja dudes that jumped in the air and fired off all the arrows.
Oh, so cool.
Now, riddle me this.
Yes.
Astrid Burgess Frisbee.
Yep.
Was she good?
Did she play the mage woman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was she
was cool.
Was she a good actress?
Yeah, was she a good actress?
No.
I was trying to work out whether she was just literally given nothing to work with or whether she's not a very good actress.
Was she supposed to be really bland with no emotion?
I think so.
Yeah. In that case, she's a great actress.
She looked really tired.
She was meant to just be like sick of this shit, wasn't she? Wasn't
just
that a whole...
She had big bags under. I'm not to
Yeah.
point fingers because I'm that guy as well.
Yeah.
Fucking
big bags under her blouse.
But she really did. I was like, she needs to put some cucumber slices on there.
Yeah, I liked
Seems
it.
to work.
I thought she was good. I liked the character itself as well, as in the control over the animals and stuff like that. I thought was pretty cool.
We're heading towards a romance there in the next movies.
Were we?
I don't know. That's what I was wondering.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I do
just
think
sex.
so.
No,
Can
love, just
can
sex.
man fuck mage?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen
Does
it.
magic happen?
This is where the magic happens.
So they invented fireworks, Ken.
Step into my room.
They shot out of Charlie Unman's
Step into my room. This is literally where magic happens. He's just got his little magic kit on his head.
Alakazam.
Like he's got a hat with fucking bunnies coming out of it.
So silly.
I'm all about that.
Giant elephants coming out of it.
So silly.
The only other, I reckon we went one montage too many personally.
Yeah.
And I just felt like at that point, and I can't remember specifically which one it was, but I thought this is a little bit of a substitute for some plot here. We did the second one.
I'm going to give you a hot tip.
Yep.
AJ, I would watch a whole movie in a montage.
Really?
I would watch.
Yeah, well, you basically
I would
Supercut.
watch an hour and 45-minute long movie of just montage.
Really?
Yeah, show me the. Give
Someone
me
do
the
that.
greatest fucking montages of all time. Make it into a YouTube clip, and I'll fucking
bet it
watch
exists.
You know
and
what
then
I,
I'll give it 10 out of 10.
Oh, I rewatched this the other night because I didn't love it as much as I wanted to the first time. Extraction 2.
Yeah.
So I rewatched it the other night. Fuck, that's got a good montage.
Oh, fuck, it's one of the best.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. I did like it the first time. I just didn't love it like I loved the first one.
Oh, I
So
loved it
I
the
gotta
first
give it
time.
another go. But anyway, the montage and that's really underrated.
Oh, man.
When he's in the snow, yeah.
I've got a feeling that's going to get discussed on the Redeemies.
Yeah, might do.
Yeah.
Oh, 100% will.
Yep.
Sorry.
Other than that,
really
I just
close.
wanted to make note that the Darklands was very appropriately named. It was quite terrifying.
Yeah, it
Badlands,
was.
I fucking loved it.
Not like Christmas Island.
Oh, fucking give it to me. Put it in me.
Too fantasy for me.
Oh, I don't give a fuck what it is. I fucking
the trippiness?
love it. It's one man and a lot of big creatures.
Yeah.
Fucking,
Yeah, true.
He's getting done by fucking river beavers.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this movie shit. A river beaver? All in. I fucking loved it.
I think that was the only time in the movie where I was like, oh, can this be over?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Do we have to do this? Like,
Yeah, and I literally said at the start of this podcast, I would watch that movie
Yeah.
of him in it.
in the Badlands.
Just
Yeah,
to the
That's a difference in taste, isn't it?
yeah.
And the only other random thing I had was Guy Ritchie cameo. He threw himself in there.
Oh, did he? I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Who was he? Where was he?
I can't remember. But he was definitely in there. I saw him.
I like
right.
to think he's a guy that tends to push his friend.
Oh, that was such a highlight. Honestly,
Fucking
It was out
so
of nowhere.
funny.
I couldn't believe what I'd seen.
I couldn't stop laughing.
I'd
It's like-
same. It was so good.
I just fucking couldn't believe-
I was hoping there was going to be more of that shit because that's exactly what people would be
Yeah,
like.
I was like,
Yeah.
wondering if anyone else notices that.
I was like,
Fucking-
oh,
'cause
people
I
have
couldn't
been
It was
stop
really good.
laughing.
Yeah, it was just silly.
I watched it like 3 times.
It really is good to know that people have been jerks like that.
I
since the
reckon-
ages.
Fucking lads.
I reckon they've done that in one of the carts, and then Guy Ritchie's gone, funny, put it in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because what a cliff they jumped off.
Yeah, yeah.
It took forever to hit the water. That was a cool scene, actually. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was good.
And fair to say, if I was a fucking director, I'd be chucking myself in movies as well.
Yeah.
Speaking of Guy Ritchie, should we do cast and crew?
Yeah, just before we do that, I just had a couple of negatives, I guess, because we haven't really done any. And it's more just an overall negative, and we've kind of touched on it, but just to clarify it, it's the Guy Ritchie stuff is wicked, right? But I didn't care for the massive shifts in like tone.
Yeah.
As in, 1 minute we're doing English Cockney gangster dialogue, humorous stuff, and the next minute it's like this fucking fantastical scene of beasts and creatures.
Perfect.
And I was like, this just doesn't all work together. And that's what right at the start was sort of saying, give me the Guy Ritchie one. Yeah, cool. But give me that the whole way through. I felt like they just flicked the switch on and off with the Guy Ritchie stuff. And that was probably the negative for me.
Yep.
Go one way or the other.
And
You
I
can't
wanted
have
them
it.
to go more Ritchie.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah.
And
But if they weren't going to, that's fine. But don't put any Ritchie in there then.
It's got everything that he could have used. It's essentially about class war.
Yeah,
It's
all
got
his
a bunch
favourite
of
themes.
interesting characters
Yeah.
with heaps of, like I said, that even within the framework of the existing intellectual property.
Yep.
You need a sword. You need a fucking dude who doesn't know he's going to be the king.
Yep.
We need that. And beyond that, obviously, you can do what you want with it because he changed the whole fucking story, essentially.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
He had leeway to put all sorts of wicked characters in there, and that's his strength in his really
Yeah.
good stuff, is this deep cast of memorable characters.
Of course, yeah.
Quirky
characters.
Yeah. And there was just a little bit of it, but not quite enough.
Not enough, yeah.
I agree, yeah.
I wish he made that movie. Like the Swords and Sandals version without the fantasy. Anyway.
He won't now.
No,
I think this was it for him. I can't speak for Guy Ritchie, but
One
I will.
shot at
but
it.
I will.
Yeah.
He's like, gave it a try.
Yeah.
Bit like Madonna.
Let's do cast and crew.
So Guy Ritchie, heard of him? He's got a career Metacritic of 49.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, this is interesting. I've done a bit
Considering
of a
he
deep
did
dive.
Swept Away.
Yeah, well, you know I'm a stats guy, so I've got some stats because his highest is actually Lock, Stock,
Yep.
65.
Shit, is that all?
Uh-huh.
That's as high as he gets.
His lowest is Swept Away at 18.
Yeah.
What's Swept Away?
That's
That's the Madonna one.
Watch
That's
that.
where he went down the fucking tube.
The Power of the Pouch.
Oh, he disappeared for a while.
I'm very
didn't he?
happy he came back.
Yeah.
Came back from it because his new movie looks fucking insane.
He was gone after that
and
for a while.
Covenant was dope.
fucking amazing.
Top 5.
And also Operation Fortune was fucking sick too.
Yeah,
I liked that one.
So, with Operation Fortune, good segue because he only has 2 films over 60, which are Lock, Stock, and The Covenant.
Yeah.
Right. He has 8 films in the 50s.
Shit.
So
okay.
he's pretty middling, or he's either considered middling or he's super divisive, and we're getting 80s from the New York Times and 25s.
I was going to say, I think it's more likely divisive.
Yeah.
I
think you're either all in on him or you're not at all.
Critics are supposed to hate him, but then you get the critics that love him. So
that seems to be the case because it was pretty spread out. But out of interest, Operation Fortune 51.
Okay.
The Gentleman 51.
Yeah.
Rock and Roller 53.
Yeah.
Aladdin 53.
Yeah, my kids like that one.
Yeah. Prepare to be outraged. Snatch 55.
Yeah.
These are also, I wonder if people could retrospectively review these, because obviously Metacritic's the snapshot of when they were, I reckon, anyway.
They're all fucking classics as far as
because here's a shot. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. 56.
That's a fucking train wreck.
I didn't like that at all.
It's more than fucking
It makes no sense to me.
Sherlock Holmes 57.
I like Sherlock Holmes.
It's not terrible, but it's not a better movie than fucking Snatch or Rock and Roller or The Gentleman or Operation Fortune, in my opinion.
No, it's definitely not.
I wouldn't say so either.
I don't know, people consider Rock and Roller his mess, but I really like it.
I love Rock and Roller.
I like Rock and Roller.
Won't hear a bad word said about
You
it.
haven't mentioned Wrath of Man. Where does that sit?
Oh, that's huge.
That's
massive.
Well, it's below 50.
No, it ain't.
Nah, it can't be.
If it's below 50, I'm telling you right now, it's my next movie.
You're looking that up?
Yeah, I am looking it up.
Because, I don't know. It didn't fit into my 50s and 60s stats.
Hot take.
I talked myself up as a stats guy.
57. So another one in the 50s, 57.
Yeah.
Because I fucking love that.
That's a great film.
Great film.
I rewatched it not long ago.
Yeah.
You know what I did? Had a fucking grand old time.
I was going to say had a cheese sandwich.
You'll have a great old time every time you rewatch that.
Every time I watch it.
It's fantastic.
I really, really like his geezer gangster shit.
Yeah.
When Lock, Stock came out, and I know I talk all the time about this fucking Pulp Fiction sort of changed the game, and everything in it sort of died in its wake for a little while because everyone was trying to replicate that.
Yeah.
And we were waiting for something like fresh and innovative, but edgy, all that. And I was like, fuck, this is it.
Yes.
I was like, here we go. This is the
agree.
English Tarantino.
Yeah.
But different enough that he's not just a facsimile of that shit. I was all in straight away.
I love 1,000 stories that come together, and that's what Guy Ritchie does.
Yeah. I think you can tell that, like his earlier films, you can tell that he had. So I've always had this theory. It may apply to writer directors. I'm not sure, but I'm making this up on the fly.
Sure.
It wouldn't apply to movies, but it's for music. Fuck, a first album should be a banger because you've had ages to write it. So your first movie, if you're writing, directing it, realistically, you've probably should be coming out of the gates pretty red hot because also it's your first swing, it's your first public notoriety.
It's also your dream being realised.
Yes.
Yeah. So you want to make that one hit.
Yeah. And then you've probably got enough leftover good ideas, and that for number two should also be good. So your second album should have enough leftover songs, at the very least, enough leftover songs from your first one to make it good. And same with his ideas. The third one's the test, and it's whether you can come out with anything fresh, and that's when I started to think,
and it's whether you're going to last or not.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I think that's what I feel like. Even though I was quite surprised to see how low some of these scores were for his earlier films, I kind of felt like it turned on him in the public consciousness around Rock and Roller, where people were like, "Okay, this is just the same shit again."
Not for me.
I loved it, man.
Yeah, me too.
It's got the fucking Clash all the way through it, bro. Like,
I haven't watched it for a long time, but I know I like it.
Yeah,
loved it.
So I kind of felt like that's why he went so far away, and it was only really when he started doing The Gentleman and all that sort of stuff a little bit later again. He tried, like, look at the stuff he's tried. Sherlock Holmes, Aladdin, this.
Yeah.
He was trying to break the mold as much as he swept away, which is just, as far as I understand, it's just a romantic, I don't know.
Garbage pile.
Yeah.
Something to do with romance.
Well, he did it. He got so many tickets from those first few.
He gave us Jason
or at least
Statham.
2.
Yeah, he did.
He got so many tickets that he was allowed to, like, just keep punching those tickets for so long.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure those Sherlock movies were pretty successful.
Yeah,
they were.
As in, I think
there was a sequel at least, right?
Yeah. Well, it must have been, I guess, if there was a sequel.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So that gives him more tickets.
Yeah.
And then he makes King Arthur. And it fails, but they go, no, you know what? You've still got tickets. Yeah, you're not done yet because you've got a massive cult following that go Guy Ritchie. And to that point, that movie last year, which was in all of our top 5s or at least top 10s, The Covenant, it's literally titled Guy Ritchie's The Covenant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like if you look it up on IMDb, it's not The Covenant. It's Guy Ritchie. So he's got so many tickets and such a cult following that he titles his movies Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. He doesn't do that. The studio probably does that.
That's straight up people power because we've seen the critics fucking don't like his shtick for the most part. Like the highfalutin, they don't like his shtick.
Yep.
look at his scores.
Yep.
And then look at how well regarded he is. You mention him to people of all ages. People know who he is. People know what he's about.
Yep.
That's like, thank you, people.
Guy Ritchie's fucking huge, man.
Yep.
Yeah. He's one of the biggest names in film. Like even for like average movie watchers.
Yep.
As in not movie nerds, but just got people that are just like casual fans, I guess. They know who Guy Ritchie is. And there's probably only, I think we've done this game before, there's probably only 5 or 6 directors that people know. Casual movie fans.
True.
Yeah. And he'd be one of them.
Yeah. There's probably a lot of people that don't realise they've seen Guy Ritchie's films. If you like, they probably watched Aladdin and had no idea.
Oh, true.
Like
that. Well, my kids, they don't know that Aladdin's a Guy Ritchie film. I try to educate them every day because I made them watch The Covenant straight after it. I said, you guys like Aladdin? Let me show you another Guy Ritchie. I got a hook in me.
I'm getting emotional.
Anyway, sorry.
So before we start crying and
let's go home and watch
singing.
The Covenant.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Let's FaceTime each other and just watching The Covenant.
So good.
Fuck. All right. Anyway, sorry.
Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah, love him. Absolutely fucking love him.
Career Metacritic 56.
Okay.
He's in a lot of stuff I didn't know he was in.
Mm-hmm.
His highest score is career Children of Men, 84. We mentioned it before.
I did.
His lowest,
one of the greats, Children of Men.
It's a good movie. God, it's depressing.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, but fuck, it's good.
That's why I love it.
Love it.
Yeah. I mean, I put on The Road afterwards just to cheer myself up.
I don't like The Road.
Really?
Vigo?
I love it.
Not
man.
a fan.
I fucking love that movie.
Yeah. There's a better version of The Road. It's called Light of My Life with Casey Affleck.
It's called.
I thought you were going to say
The Book of Eli.
Yeah,
no. That's what I thought you were going to say. Light of My
Ken
Life.
fucking hates The Book of Eli.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
I love it.
His lowest is Rebel Moon, 31.
Understandable.
31.
You know what? It was a massive pile of shit, and I can't wait to watch the second one.
I bet
you know what?
I can't wait to watch the second one.
I think that's too harsh. I think Massive is too harsh. It was probably a pile of shit, but I don't think Massive.
Have you seen it yet?
Yeah. I watched it the fuck 2 days after it came out.
Me too.
It's one of the most... It's just one of the worst visual experiences I think I've ever had.
It's such a shame.
It's a garbage train, but I don't think I picked up my phone once. So, it entertained me.
I just was sitting there thinking, fuck, they've finally put some resources into fresh IP and we got this. I mean, thank
what a shame.
Thank God for the creator, which wasn't exactly fantastic, but was pissed on Rebel Moon.
Oh, yeah.
So he's, as we said before, he's really known. He broke through in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, huge.
2008, 2014.
Is it good?
It's fucking great.
Yeah.
Really? I've watched a
it's
season.
really
and I was
great.
like,
I've never watched it.
Yeah.
Should I watch it?
Yeah. I'm not going to. But
I love Charlie.
We'll do it, man.
Really?
Ron Perlman?
Yeah. I like Ron Perlman.
Okay.
All right.
Good for morale.
All right, I'll watch it. You got my word.
You're on for a hell of a journey.
I'll let you know.
Yeah. I got a couple of seasons of some reality stuff to finish first. Do you know the thing that jumped out of me from his IMDb that I fucking should have known that he was in, but I was really surprised? Green Street Hooligans.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'd forgotten he was
He's
in
a main
that.
fucking hard man. That's why.
That's what made him.
Man.
So I remember watching that. Actually, Duff and I used to watch that all the time. It was one of our movies that we'd watch together.
That's a real cheery film.
Charlie Hunnam, we called him back. We were like, that guy's a fucking star.
Yes.
He's going to be massive.
I probably haven't seen it for
Massive
10 years
hard man
and just forgotten. Yeah. Great
Fucking
film.
hate
He's
that ending.
so charismatic in that
Hate
film.
that ending with so much passion.
That's an affecting film.
That's the best of the hooligan movies.
Oh, fuck.
Period.
Yeah. Oh, This Is England's pretty good.
Period. Nah. Period.
No.
Okay.
Nothing comes close to that.
No.
Green Street Hooligans.
So my opinion's wrong.
No,
on this.
it's
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah, okay.
It's dead wrong. And I'd prefer you shut your mouth if you're going to
I've just got some more notes to read. Is that okay?
That's fine, as long as they're not about hooligan movies.
No, I've called them Hun Facts. He was cast to star in 50 Shades of Grey.
I'm glad he turned it down.
As the main guy?
But he dropped out due to scheduling conflicts with Son of Anarchy.
I think that's the best thing that's ever happened to
Yeah.
him. Because you don't hear Jamie Dorman going around getting good roles anymore, do you?
But she's doing all right.
Well, she's not in a good role. She was in one of the worst movies of the year.
She's doing all right?
Yeah, when she claimed she had... Well, look, I've only seen the red carpet photos. She's doing fine.
Her press junket for that movie is really something.
I know,
it's
it's
cracking me
incredible,
up. She just doesn't give a
She's
shit.
saying to people, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. She's like, I don't care. She goes, pile of shit. I don't care. Okay, I got paid. Fuck off.
Oh, I just fucking respect the shit out of her saying, look, I haven't seen it. You'll have to give me the gist of it. Is it any good? She goes, I'm filming it. It felt like a real pile of shit. So
pretty much. That's what she said.
People were like, don't they go to the premieres of their own movies? And apparently not. Or she slept through it or whatever.
She doesn't care.
She's doing lots of ketamine. He auditioned for the role of Thor.
No chance.
You don't reckon?
No chance.
I can see that.
I can see it. And then, I can't.
This is basically a list of shit he missed out on.
He could pull off the comedy and the power.
I think he could. I mean, they cast it correctly, don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But, I can see it.
A really massively jacked Hunnam. I don't know. He kind of suits the ripped athletic guy.
Most of the fun facts later on are about his physique.
That's
I had to find things that weren't talking about his abs, but I'll go through it later.
An impressive physique.
He also auditioned for the role of Anakin in Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones.
Well done. He's dodged a lot of bullets.
Yeah, how's about this one? Yeah. A main role in Dawson's Creek. So it could have been not Joshua Jackson. There's a sliding doors.
Charlie Hunnam's Pacey.
Yeah, which one's Pacey? Or does he take James Van Der Beek's role?
James Van Der Beek.
Is he the main guy?
He's a Van Der Beek, isn't he?
I think...
I reckon he's the main guy.
James Van Der Beek. Yeah. Can you imagine James Van Der Beek in King Arthur?
How is James?
No.
Is he okay?
He passed, I believe.
Oh, send his wife a hand. No, I don't think he passed.
Jesus Christ, I had a moment.
He pops up every now and then, doesn't he?
Yeah.
At like a celebrity golf game with Mark Zuckerberg or some shit. Like he's around, man.
It's Mark Zuckerberg's next fight.
I'm sure he's on Dancing with the Stars.
He probably is.
The
with
Australian version. People still go,
This is the mask singer.
He's got a 20 grand fee. We can get him. Yeah.
He was also... Jason Segel wrote the role of Aldous Snow in the film's Forgetting Sarah Marshall for him.
Oh, shit.
But he turned it down because he didn't feel the role was right for him. And he was replaced by notorious sex pest and conspiracy theorist and shill, Russell Brand.
Wow. You're very opinionated on Russell Brand.
Fuck Russell Brand, honestly.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You can pull it off.
Lucky because that Russell Brand was exquisite.
He was perfect for that role.
Yeah.
It hurts to watch now.
Have they forgiven him, Ken?
Does it?
Have you cancelled
Is
him?
he uncancelled?
Is he cancelled?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ, is he
couldn't be more cancelled.
He'll be right.
Ken's just uncancelled people.
The great uncanceller.
Yeah, I'd say give him another chance.
Okay.
I can't wait for the day I'm cancelled and Ken's like,
honestly,
no, it's fucked.
Sorry, mate. I've deleted you fucking from my phone. He's just going to ruin... Like, straight away, you do one thing wrong by him, and he cuts you off forever. But, no, he's all right. Yeah,
he'll get through it.
Russell Brand is all right.
Russell's
and also, Charlie is a big-time germaphobe, which I relate to and respect.
Yeah, you'd love that, wouldn't you?
Any other thoughts on Charlie?
I just really like it. I just if it's got Charlie in it, I'm going to give it a go. Yeah. I watched a TV show with him last year, and it was a real letdown because it's my favourite novel of all time turned into a TV show. It's called Shantaram.
It's called
it's an Australian outlaw that escapes prison and lives in the slums of Mumbai and becomes the doctor of one of these slums and then gets involved with the Indian mafia and stuff. So gripping story, and it's a true story.
Indian mafia.
No, it's a true story. So it's really good.
Is Dev Patel in it?
Anyway, it was an Apple TV production, so it looked beautiful, all that sort of stuff. But the show lacked a lot, but Hunnam was just so magnetic in it.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's
really good, man. Couldn't have been
I'm really happy that things
love
going
him
for him.
Yeah.
Bit about the Rebel Moon thing, but he'll be fine.
Oh, he'll be fine, man. Everything just bounces off him.
He's not in the second.
It wasn't his
anyway.
fault either. Yeah, it was only a bit part. Yeah. Astrid Burgess Frisbee, career Metacritic of 52. She's in a bunch of shit we've never heard of.
Is she?
One episode of The Bill, I imagine.
You're nicked, you are.
No,
she's actually French.
Foreign, yeah.
You're
she's
nicked.
French. She's very foreign. French? She had a thick accent.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
She was born in Barcelona to a Spanish father and a French-American mother.
Barcelona.
Yes.
Barcelona, her father was Merlin.
So, this is her lowest scoring film.
Yeah.
Her highest scoring is something called The Well Digger's Daughter of 67. Which
I don't know her. I have no idea who you're talking about right now.
Same. Honestly, she has no credits since 2021, which was a French TV series, and she has no upcoming projects.
All right, let's leave it.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Jude Law.
Jude.
She got a higher booking than Jude Law on this podcast?
I just went in the order of IMDb, man.
Okay.
Don't blame me, all right?
Wow.
Or the pages printed out in a funny order. I don't know, whatever.
Yep.
Jude Law, career Metacritic of 60, highest Grand Budapest Hotel 88, lowest Love, Honor, Obey 23.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Okay. So he's been around for a while. He had a few small roles like Gattaca before he broke through in 1999's The Talented Mr. Ripley, for which he was nominated for an Academy Award.
I have that on my rewatch list at the moment.
I haven't
Talented
seen it
Mr.
so
Ripley.
long.
Yeah, got to rewatch it.
I'm going to rewatch The Repo Man.
Oh, yeah.
With Jude Law and Forrest Whitaker.
Oh, yeah. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Hated it.
Did you?
Did you really?
It's very violent.
I'm gonna watch
I
it
just
again.
remember it being horrifically violent, unexpectedly violent.
That's a remake as well, right? There was a 80s movie.
No, it's
Was
based
there?
on the 80s wrestler, the Repo Man.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't know whether it's a remake. Yeah.
there is a movie called Repo Man, I think.
Is
from
it?
the 80s. Yeah.
Or are you thinking of Men at Work?
It's got punk rock. The Emilio Estevez, Charlie Sheen. Yeah. That's the one.
Emilio! That's what you're thinking
No,
of.
Repo Man's got a wicked soundtrack.
Okay.
Sarge looks like my niece.
So he was also nominated for Cold Mountain in 2003. Never seen it.
Cold Mountain. That's a movie I was thinking of. I fucking love that.
It's a good film.
I remember that being
It is a
very
good
good.
film, yeah.
Very, very dark.
There's a bit more to it than they market it as a romance film.
Yeah.
but
It's
there's a
not a
bit more
romance.
to it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's more
Put on the
than-
list.
There's plenty of drama.
It's Nicole
Yeah,
Kidman,
I
right?
think it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nicole
I think
Kidman plays the mountain.
Yeah,
She's the cold.
She plays Naomi Watts playing the mountain.
Yeah,
Meta.
yeah. Cold Mountain's good.
The majority of the fun facts you find about him are related to his love life and who he's friends with. So he's been quite the socialite, and he's a bit of a pants man.
Oh, yeah, he's a big pants man.
yeah.
He was a remake of Alfie, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he was married to Sienna Miller or something, wasn't he? He got caught fucking the nanny or something. Anyway, and brand new have a song named after him titled Jude Law and the Semester Abroad on their album Your Favourite Weapon.
Oh, there you go.
Speaking of cancelled, that's a shame, that one. Anyway.
No, they're okay.
Yeah, that. Last album was good. Anything else about Jude Law? I thought he was fucking really good in this.
I always
Jesus, sinister.
I like.
I thought he was, very sinister.
Yeah.
And a lot of emotion when he's killing off his whole family.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, when he did his daughter dirty.
I think I like him as a bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
more than a good guy.
I don't want to see a romance movie with Jude. in it.
He tried.
Give me
but,
give me a bad Jude with a bit of fucking sleaze.
Give me naughty Jude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was good in Captain Marvel as well.
Was he?
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay, glad someone was.
Yeah. He was he was it.
Was he naughty in that?
Yeah, he was very naughty.
Yeah. No, he's sort of swerved that way. And obviously he started off talented Mr. Ripley.
He's one of those
Relatively
guys, right? And there's a kind of category for these guys where he's a A-list movie star, but he's never really done anything. As in, he's never carried a blockbuster.
Yeah.
He's never had a 5-movie run where
Oh,
it's
no,
just blown everyone
it's
away.
and Jude Law, and you go, okay, I'll give it a
No
watch.
one's
that's what I mean.
rushing to the cinema because it's a
Right.
Jude Law movie, right?
But who the fuck doesn't know who Jude Law is?
Yeah, and who
So
also isn't
somehow-
happy when he comes on.
Yeah, and he's cut out this like career without ever doing anything, really.
Yeah.
He's just in a heap of shit.
Yeah.
But he's not actually ever been like, wow, he's the fucking guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's fucking safe.
There's a lot
pair
of guys
hands.
like this. That's what he is. He's safe.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not with the nanny, but
Not with the
in
nanny,
the movie.
no.
I think that's what actually made him quite famous, that shit,
The name.
while The Holiday came out.
Yeah. And he's a massive socialite in England.
Yeah.
All right, what's his biggest role?
Gattaca?
Is it?
One of his early ones. I think I personally most associate him with the talented Mr. Ripley.
Yeah. Couldn't tell you.
For the new, it's definitely Captain Marvel for the newish
Is it?
fans.
Oh, is he quite a big part in that, is he?
Oh, huge
Right.
part.
Right.
Let us know at home.
Please do.
Last one is Dujimon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Digimon, yeah.
Honusu.
It's just Hansu, isn't it?
Hansu?
Hanssou?
Hounso.
Yeah, okay. Honsu.
Yep.
All right. Fine with that.
All I wrote for him is our guy has been in,
Everything.
among other things. I had trouble narrowing down the bangers. I mean, I most associate him with Blood Diamond. And
I think everyone
most
does.
people do. What a fucking film! Gladiator, Stargate, Aragon.
Guardians of the Galaxy, also
Dead
another Marvel
Rising.
guy.
When we did our Dead Island, our Deserted Islands episode, and we were talking about, you had to pick a star that's been in enough movies that you could take all their movies with you.
Yeah.
I actually mentioned Digimon on that. Kind of like it's probably not him, but also, like, have a look at his IMDb. It
Honestly,
could be him.
incredible.
And now, can I add another one that I just watched a couple of weeks ago that I'm going to do on the pod and I don't give a fuck? Gran Turismo, the sports movie from last
Is that
year.
under 50?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
No person has watched that movie and hated it. I loved it.
It's a great movie. And
Yeah.
guess who's in it? And guess who brings the emotion and brings the drama?
David Harbour.
Digimon.
And
David Harbour.
Digimon was in like 3 movies in a row that I watched.
Yeah.
Like it was like Gran Turismo. I think
just
he's in
popped
Rebel
up.
Moon as well. Like I was like, oh fuck, there he is again. And again, always happy to see him.
Always.
Always
love
puts in
it.
a good performance.
So
Probably
good.
wasn't utilised fully in this.
Gladiator, man.
He's rarely utilised fully. I think Blood Diamond's the one where he's utilised fully.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he's an incredible dramatic actor.
All right. were you ready for some fun facts to close it out?
Let's.
The fun is not guaranteed. The facts also not guaranteed.
Welcome to the internet.
The cast had a hardcore crash course in the film when they arrived.
Yeah.
Ritchie filmed the entire movie in 4 hours for them.
What?
Yeah. Charlie Hunnam said, Guy had this wacky idea that he wanted to take an afternoon before we started working and shoot the whole film in 4 hours.
What do you mean?
Oh, kind of like a stage production.
Yeah. On 2 or 3 cameras in a room, all in black. We shot the whole film.
Did they
that's
do
where
it?
we all met. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's where most of us cast met. It was a baptism of fire, but it was such high energy, sort of anxiety-inducing experience.
Yeah, I bet.
Weird method.
Cool.
It's so strange.
Don't like it.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Just run through it all. But you'd have to be on point, right?
Yeah. And it would have just been a sloppy mess.
And it's not 4 hours. There's a lot of fuck-ups and just getting your lines.
I guess they just keep rolling.
Interesting.
I was looking for as much as I could, like I said, about sets, etc. It was relatively hard to find, but what I did find is that they did repurpose a giant life-size rock quarry, which is where a lot of it was shot in Pinewood. It's also used for something to do with Tarzan. They constructed a 300-foot bridge that allowed the actors and stuntmen to get a full gallop while going on horseback.
That's crazy. You fucking don't even realise a full gallop. I think
it's a big bridge.
Yeah. Now, relating to what I was talking about with the landscapes versus the CGI, I found out that they said he wanted to offer a break from fantasy epics and their sweeping landscapes of the countryside. So Ritchie deliberately designed King Arthur to have a more urban feel, not like Dead President's urban, like urban feel, by setting it in Londinium. The settlement established at the site of modern London a couple of centuries after the Romans left.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm not sure I agree with that choice, but it was obviously a very, very conscious choice by Ritchie and the guys. The costume department had little emblems hidden, and they had images of oak trees and acorns into the costumes of the good characters to symbolise the good heart of England.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
And you know what? Wasn't necessary.
No.
Because no one noticed or cared.
Couldn't care less.
But good for you.
They sent that fun fact into IMDb themselves. Honestly, they're like, what about my acorns? As I said, this was initially intended to be part of a 6-part franchise, but the lack of success scrapped it. And then there's a whole bunch of shit here about Hunnam's body. He dropped 20 pounds while filming Sons of Anarchy, and when he turned up to audition, Ritchie was a bit shocked and dismayed. He apparently brought up Charlie's lighter frame 4 times during the audition, and after the 4th time, Charlie said to Guy, look, dude, you keep bringing this up, the physicality. It's obviously your primary concern. So if you want to do away with this all this auditioning bollocks, I'll fucking fight those other 2 dudes. I know who they are. Bring them both in here. I'll fight them both, and the one who walks out the door gets the job.
Oh, that's great. That's wicked.
He got the job. No confirmation whether the fight took place or not.
Damn.
It definitely did.
The other 2 actors.
I reckon he could fight.
Who are the other 2 actors?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you the other 2 actors, and then we have to decide who's going to win in a fight.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill and Jai Courtney.
He's not beating Jai Courtney or Henry Cavill.
Charlie wins.
Yeah.
Charlie wins. I reckon Charlie's quick, man.
Jai Courtney.
Dude, he's quick in this.
Yeah. I reckon he's quick. I reckon he knuckles him.
Jai Courtney eats your soul, I reckon.
Really? I reckon he doesn't go down easy, Jai Courtney.
Oh,
but
no.
I think he
eats
goes
your
down.
soul.
Yeah. Henry Cavill, I reckon, probably glass jaw.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Send him in Mission Impossible. Any man that cocks his arm like a shotgun.
Yeah, he looks like the sort of guy that's got all the muscles, like what do they call it, like glamour muscles?
Gym muscles.
But can't actually fight.
He's one of those guys who takes his shirt off before there's a fight. What is that, your court shirt? You're worried about getting...
He's another one that's too handsome to fight.
Come on.
I don't think that fight took place, but fuck, I'd love to watch it.
Yeah, how good is that,
fight,
If that's true,
I'll take
it's
Hunnam.
a fucking awesome thing to say. If it's not true, it's a fucking awesome thing to say.
Yeah.
So he took the body shaming to heart, and he vowed to be in Ripper Nick by the time the filming kicked off. He said he would do 500 push-ups a day until he, quote, looked like one of those dudes who do 500 push-ups a day. He's true to his word, and he set a personal record by doing over 1,000 push-ups in one day.
Jesus. Fuck that noise.
And he based his fighting style, which we see with the shadow boxing at the beginning, on Conor McGregor, he says. He watched a lot of tape of Conor McGregor.
There you go.
Yeah, not the Dink Diaz fight.
That makes sense.
That's everything I've got. That's facts. That's stats. That's opinions.
If you don't have an opinion on the movie by now, then what are you doing? Re-listen to the pod. Rewatch the movie. To summarise, heaps to like. Heaps to like. The filmmaking was like solid. Obviously the visual effects and stuff I thought were excellent. I didn't have a problem with the CGI at all. And considering it's a fantasy movie, that's hard to pull off.
Yeah, I'm strong.
Like when half the movie's CGI. The world building and storytelling was great. It was all really good. it just wasn't for me because it was like too heavily fantasy. If it was just backed off on that by half, I could deal with a bit of fantasy. I could deal with giant elephants, and I could deal with a tiny bit of like magic swords. But once it's like Snake Lady in the pool and
like such a fucking dork.
I know, but
when you talk about fantasy,
magic everyone sounds like a dork when they talk about fantasy,
man.
Yeah, it's very
but I wanted the definitive list of what fantastical shit he will do. So we're doing elephants and swords.
I could do animal stuff.
Yeah,
like I don't mind that.
Yeah,
fantasy as long as they have rules.
Yeah,
like they can't just have all the power in the universe.
Yeah,
like if a mage can just control an animal, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
provided that's all she can do. But if all of a sudden she can travel through time as well, I'm like, okay, that's too much. Just have rules, man. So in saying all of that, I am still going to redeem it.
Okay.
Because even though the fantasy elements of it isn't for me, I still thought it was like a really highly entertaining, engaging movie that I had a fucking good time watching it. So I'm going to give it, I'm not going to go crazy here because as I said, it's very fantasy, but I'm going to give it 58.
Nice.
And if you disagree with me, I'll feed you to the massive fat woman with snakes for limbs that lives in my swimming pool.
Ooh. I liked that massive fat woman.
I thought that
she was horrifying.
Man. She was disgusting.
When he feeds
the price.
When he slits his own daughter's throat and then feeds her to the fat woman with snakes for limbs, I was horrified.
Oh, man.
And that's why I don't like fantasy. Like, there was just so much.
The way her corpse floats gently off. And you think, and then she
and then does she just have to? Does the daughter like come back to life, reincarnate, and just live as one of those snake ladies in the water?
I think
and what do they do? Like, what do they do during the day?
Yeah.
Like, do they have a TV in the cave?
And are they
or do they just kind of slither around?
I think they're slithering.
I just want to know are they available. Have I got any chance?
Go.
All right, I'll go short and sweet as per usual. I love a movie that surprises me, and this fucking surprised the fuck out of me. Because listen, I was not excited when you announced it. Wasn't excited to watch it, and then all of a sudden, I found myself fucking enthralled in it. And I was so blown away. I love everything. But the best scene in the whole movie is the pretend pushing over the cliff. It's a Duff mess around kind of thing to do that I love. So for me, 73. Just fucking really enjoyed it.
Great.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I was all about it.
I honestly stopped this movie I stopped it at the end and spent the next like 48 hours trying to decide what I thought about it.
Yeah.
I was really conflicted by it because much like Ken, I wanted the Guy Ritchie of it was great. It felt shoehorned in parts though, so like just the unevenness of it because it was so much CGI and so much fantasy. When it just kind of made me want a grittier version, I was like, "Fuck! I wish he directed Antoine Fuqua's version instead."
Yeah.
So look, I had a reasonably good time. I'm sort of in between the both of you in terms of like I didn't love it as much as Duff did. I was surprised by the movie that it turned out to be, but not necessarily pleasantly. And it's a well-made movie. It's got good performances. The core story is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like the lore of it is great. So there's plenty there to like, but I will never watch this again. I'm going to give it 55.
Okay,
cool.
I you know what? I will watch it again.
Yeah.
I'd show it to my kids in 5 once they're 10 or 12 or whatever. I think this would be a great movie for 10, 12-year-olds.
I'm all about it.
Because it's a lot of adventure and there's no blood. We didn't even mention that.
Oh, yeah.
But it's very family friendly.
Because they're getting vaporized.
It's quite scary for a kid, but it's family friendly in terms of the violence and things.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
So 12-year-olds, like, this is beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
And I do have a mind of a 12-year-old, so maybe that's why I fucking love it.
I love the parental corner we're finishing with in season 3.
Yeah,
it's
fantastic.
nice, isn't it? Speaking of season 3, as we close out this episode, keep an eye on social media because we have our Redeemies coming up.
Redeemies!
The real awards.
The best award show, the People's Award Show.
Yeah, it is. And it is again going to be the People's Award Show. Like we did last year, we want your input. So we're going to put surveys up on the social medias.
Yeah.
And you get to vote, and
we want to try and break our survey response record from I think we had 580 or something responses last year. We want to crack a grand this year.
Yeah,
love to crack a grand.
Vote multiple times. I don't give a fuck.
I don't care either.
Just pretend it's a
Can
US
you vote
election.
multiple times?
No.
Oh, I was going to say. Like some of the awards last season are a bit iffy.
I'm really looking forward to it. I've done my prep. I am fucking ready to go. I'm fired up for it.
Yeah, I got my 10 finally.
Yep. So, and we really, really want to hear from you guys and be part of it. So get involved.
Got to get involved.
Got to get involved to be involved.
Give it a crack.
All right. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. Goddamn more to rush, I guess.
And I couldn't think of a single philosophical thing to say about this film. So, bye.
Young man came from hunting, faint and weary. What is that, my lord, my dearie?